everybody, it's Andrea Mercia, aka Annalum, and welcome to part 2 of the Décor tissue box cover. Up to this point, we've done all the prep, the painting, and the tiling, and we're going to do the grouting today and the final decoration. If you haven't seen the first part, you can go right here and go watch how we got up to this point. I hope that you enjoyed this second part. Thanks for joining me on my journey. Okay, we're back. We're going to be grouting. As I've mentioned before, I've never tiled or grouted. So I had to come up with something creative. This is a Wilton icing bag, and this is a Wilton tip. It says here that it's a number 5. I don't do cakes either. This was purchased for me to try and do a project when I was in college. It didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, and I ended up with these things, and I'm like, you know what? That would be really great for the grouting. Let me just cut the tip off here. Woo. As you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to have to cut off more of the tip, because again, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am what you call faking it. Everything I do is faking it. I'm an expert on nothing. All right, I'm going to do that. And then put this little bushing on. There we go. So I'm going to use this to grout. So basically, because I have no edges on this, like usually when you tile, there's a metal edge. I didn't want to do what you normally do with tiling, which is just like smear it in with the paddle piece that they have. You push it in and then you wipe it off. I can't do that because it won't work with this. So I want to kind of make sure that it's in the cracks as much as possible. And then I'm going to have a handy dandy wipe, and I'm going to be wiping off the top as I go. That's my plan. We know how well things like that go for me. So yes, I'm going to use this Wilton icing bag to hold my grout and to try and control it so I don't make a huge mess. And I'm doing a shout out to Andrea Cook, who I used to deal with at the Michaels in Ottawa. She is awesome. I went to her when I was in college and I said, I'm going to be doing this project and I need to know how to ice a cake. And she taught the Wilton cake class at the Canada Michaels. And I said, could you teach me how to ice? So she took me to her house one night and she showed me how to do this. Thank God. So thank you, Andrea, if you're watching. So again, this is the molding paste that we dyed with the paint colors. I'm just gonna put it all in there, and we're going to hope for the best. What's the worst that can happen, right? There's people out there right now going, oh my God, she's insane. So I know, if I remember correctly, you fold it, and you do this, and then you push it out. Again, I had a 1-hour lesson with the wonderful Andrea Cook, and then I went home and I practiced a little bit. Ultimately, I ended up using the Wilton candy melter squeeze bottles, and instead of using molding paste for my project, I ended up using string gel. And you can see the project right here. I'll post it. It was a binary interpretation of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Say that 5 times fast. Okay, I'm just noticing it's not as mixy as it could be, so I'm just kind of mixing it. Okay, here we go. Oh my god. My handy dandy wet nap. I'm gonna zoom in, because if we're going to ruin this, let's do it in high def. There we go. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, so what I've learned is when I put it down, I need to use my finger to push it in. I shouldn't try to save the grout. Like I was trying to go skimpy over here and then it wasn't filling in. And so I'm going to do all the top with this grout, and then I'll mix up another batch, and I'll just make sure that I do each side with a different batch so that in case they don't completely match. Not that it doesn't matter because it's an art project. And this isn't as bad as I thought it would be once I got down to here and I started pushing it in and that. And I realized that I wasn't going to have enough grout, but it's okay. I'm going to make up some more. Now I'm not concerned at all. Like this little spot here, I'll wait for that to dry, go back in, push some more in. I actually think this is really super cool. And I'm not really worried about this inside edge anymore. I'm going to squish some inside there and just make sure it's a nice flat edge. And as long as it's a nice flat edge on the outside, I don't think it's going to be an issue. This is awesome. I really like this. Okay, so I'm going to do everything else in super duper fast forward. I don't want to not do it on camera and then people say, oh, could you show me how you did the side, stuff like that. And then I don't want people to have to sit for 20 minutes and in times 8. So I'm going to do like times 32 and it's just going to go, it's going to go really fast. All right. So I think this is really super cool. And then when this is dry, I'm going to put these embellishments on the corners. And I found these little embellishments in my embellishment drawer. And I thought I would just put a few of those around on the edges. That's it. So super duper fast forward it is. Okay, I have a little bit left, so if you're doing a tissue box, I had a not full 8 fluid ounces, 237 mils. So I would say I might have had 5 ounces and a little bit under 200 because this wasn't full. I added some more to it to do a tissue box. I still have some left over. I'm going to save it. I'm going to let this dry. And then any holes that are left, I'm going to do this, and then I don't have to worry about matching it up. All right. So I will do that off camera. And then when we come back, see, I have to clean this up before it dries. And then I'll come back and we'll put on the final embellishments. And it will be awesome. All right, I'll see you later. Hey, I'm back, and I've done a super duper zoom in to show you the grouting. So there's the grout on the sides, which I think turned out really cool. It's very rustic looking because not everything is perfectly straight. I mean, it was the first time I was doing it, so it's very, I don't know, it reminds me of Tuscany, very, not sure, but I love it. I think it's great. Now, I had to change this. I was having some real difficulties with the inner edge of the tile, with the grout and the glue underneath, and it just wasn't matching, and I tried scraping it off. It wasn't working. So what I decided to do was just paint the entire inside the dark brown from the bottom. And I had to put a lot of coats on because it was having a hard time sticking to the glass tiles. And now I think that it's a little bit too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off everything, all the tiles up here, and I'm going to take some of my homemade gold shimmer spray, and there's a video right here to show you how to make it, and I'm going to just give it a couple of shots to break up this a little bit, and then we will put down our final embellishments. Woo! Like that. So these match the accessories in my bathroom. So I have a glass and a soap dish and a garbage can and everything. That is that exact thing. And then if, depending on how the gold shimmer comes out, I was going to add on a few of these little embellishments. And I also painted the bottom with the dark brown to make it look like a darker wood. So it kind of matches. Oh, let me take all this off. So it kind of matches what's down here now. So it's perfect. So that's what you're going to see me doing next, is the taping off and doing the shimmer mist squirt, and then we'll come back live. All right. Okay, that was super duper stressful. As you can see in the video, I sprayed, and then when I turned it around and tried to spray the other side, it got blotchy, had to wipe it off, redo it again, wipe it off, stuff like that. These are the things that I have nightmares about. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. And I ended up getting gold spray pretty much everywhere, which, you know, considering it's me, is normal. Again, I had this tape, so how I got gold underneath the tape, I'll never know. I'm going to let that dry. We're going to come back and finish up the embellishment. Okay, so this is mostly dry. And I'm getting ready to put on my embellishments, the final step. And I was going to do it with hot glue gun, and then I realized none of these are even. None of these are even. So I would have gaps, and it's not flexible, and if I hit it, it would fall off. So I decided I was going to use a goodly amount of glossy accent and really seed it in it, and then it would kind of create a bead of glossy accents around the edge that would dry. And then I would be good with that. So I'm going to do one corner at a time. I'm going to zoom in super duper close. I think that's as close as I can get. See if I could get better resolution. Nope, that's as good as it's gonna get, people. So basically I just want to center it on these 9 corner tiles. This one here is very uneven. I might have to wait for it to mostly dry and then come back and put another bead of glossy accents around it just to try and fill in the voids. This will dry completely clear around here. That one's not quite straight. There, that one. It's straight now. So yeah, this one here, after it sticks a little bit better, I'll come back and put another line of glossy accents around it. If you store your glossy accent upside down like this, the little needle piece is always filled with liquid and it can't dry out. If you store it upright, it drains and then what's left in there dries and then it gets clogged. So if you store it upside down like this, you don't have that problem. Okay, I have decided that these embellishments would be overkill. I can't tilt it right now, but I am going to call this done. I will take some really nice pictures of it after it's dry, so I'll tilt it in a couple of different ways and put it in after the video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe right here. I have really enjoyed this project, even though it was completely outside my comfort zone, and I'm very glad that I participated in Trash to Treasure this month. I have links down in the dibbly-doo to all my social media and my website and the things on my Etsy store for sale. And again, I thank you for coming along with me on my artful journey. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.